All right, ladies, we're going to talk about light and dark feminine energy today. It has been so long since I have made one of these types of videos, so we're going to get right
Busy
into
women
it.
across America are.
Let me turn down those ads. Make sure I can see your comments. Hi, Hannah. Hi, India. Hi, Elaine. Oh my girl, we are here for you. A difficult day, no worries. Oh my gosh. Okay, I need to read this real quick. Ashley says, Alexis, OMG girl, I'm almost done with your course and I went on a date with the most high value man I've ever met. Girl, can you please update us in that private Facebook group with all the girls in the course? We would love to hear. So happy for you. Hi, April. Yay. Okay. All my girls are here. Good. I see some questions already about light and dark feminine energy. Let me wait a couple minutes for everyone to join. Then we'll get started. Oh, I am just gonna fix this real quick. Okay. All right, ladies, so why this video today? I have not talked about dark and light feminine energy since creating the Master Your Feminine Energy course. And I think that it's so important for today because there's a lot of content being made about dark and light feminine energy that I see. But there's a few things that I've not heard anyone talk about yet, but has been so impactful in my own light and dark feminine energy. So I really, really am excited to share with you girls. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with the first point here. Light and dark feminine energy. First of all, I want you to know that you have both. It doesn't matter if you have always been in your light feminine energy. It doesn't matter if you've always been in your dark feminine energy. You have both within you. And what happens most of the time is one of our energies will be really celebrated and brought out when we're children. The other one will be deeply shamed. And it's usually unconscious. We don't realize until we get older and we start looking at the way that we're showing up. So I guarantee you, you are most likely stronger in either the light or either the dark feminine energy. Personally, I've always been stronger in the light feminine energy, and I'll explain the difference in both of these. So light feminine energy, if you've been with me for a while, you're already probably very familiar with light feminine energy. Light feminine energy, think of what the name says. Very light. Light meaning free, very free-spirited, very playful, very alive, very happy, full of radiance and love. It's a very, very natural beauty, very, very childlike. On the other side, we have the dark feminine energy, equally beautiful. It is a side that is darker. It's a side that's more mysterious. The side that is almost like our shadow side. It's the side that is connected to our desires, to our passion, to our boundaries, to our voice. The reason why dark feminine energy is called dark is because the world and society wants women to keep it inside because it is so powerful. Most of the habits and the mindsets associated with dark feminine energy, people do not want women to have. They would be way, way too powerful. So for example, a woman who knows her worth, who has self-respect, is going to be a woman that demands fair pay in the workplace. That is not going to benefit the majority of the world. A woman in her dark feminine energy knows and loves who she is. She is going to choose a partner that will bring a healthy relationship and healthy family to her generations. This is not good for the majority of the world because if a family unit is whole and complete and healthy, it goes against everything that most of the major corporations want to go against. They are way too powerful. That is why we could go down a rabbit hole here, but that's why there's so much that are trying to keep the dark feminine energy suppressed inside of women. I am here to help you bring it out because it is your superpower as a woman, especially when you can balance both, which we will get into in this video. They both feel great. Yes, Candace, yes, they do feel so great. Okay, point number one. The other day I had made a TikTok video in response to a woman who had asked, Alexis, I'm always really strong in my light feminine energy. How do I set boundaries and bring out that side of me? And this hit me because I so connect with this. It was always so hard for me to speak up, to be mean, for me to be passionate, for me to speak my mind. Because as I've told you girls, my dark feminine energy was buried in my body. And it came from having a very, very toxic and scary household growing up. My dark feminine energy was punished when I would connect to it. So I just learned to hide it. Now, as an adult and now as a feminine energy coach and on my inner work journey, I have learned to connect to it 100%. So when she asked me this, I totally knew what she meant. And this is what I realized. When you are a woman with your natural light feminine energy, you don't have to know how to pull out the dark feminine energy right away when it comes to gaining self-respect and setting boundaries. All that you have to do is protect the little girl inside of you. So that means when someone is pushing your boundaries and disrespecting you, and you feel the need to hide and people please and to not speak up, you ask yourself, am I going to choose to protect the little girl inside me right now? Or am I going to choose to protect somebody else's feelings? That is all that you have to do to learn to set boundaries as a light feminine energy woman. When I learned this for myself, I never had a problem setting boundaries again, because thinking about letting the little girl inside me go without any protection, thinking about caring for someone else's opinion, someone else or for me to not be on eggshells with them, that did not even compare to the little girl inside me that it is my job to respect. And guess what will happen when you do this? You are naturally connecting to your dark feminine energy. So again, protect the little girl inside you. When you are scared to upset someone else, it does not matter because your inner child matters more. All right, so what else did I want to say about this? Yes, okay, so for my girls who are more in their dark feminine energy, and then we'll talk about how they go together. My girls in their dark feminine energy, so you've already mastered how to protect your inner child, which we just talked about for the light feminine energy woman. My girls in their dark feminine energy, what your job is going to be is getting to know and getting connected to the little girl inside you. Because the disconnect that keeps us from our light feminine energy is often because we do not know what the little girl inside us desires. We do not know how to connect to the playful, the childlike, the free side of ourself. All that you have to do is go and introduce yourself to her. A few ways that you can do this. One, think about things that you used to do when you were a kid. Was it running in the grass and doing cartwheels? Was it painting? Was it baking? Was it watching cartoons? Whatever it was, go and do those things again. As you connect more to your inner child, that radiance, it's like, imagine the sun around you. You just get filled brighter and brighter with the sun because your inner child is coming alive. She's becoming happy and free again. Learn what makes that little girl, like that really childlike, just fun side of yourself. Learn what makes her come alive. That is your job. So again, to recap the first point, my girls who are stronger in their light feminine energy, learn how to protect your inner child and you will gain power. My girls in their dark feminine energy, learn to get to know your inner child and learn to stay connected to her and you will strengthen yourself. Let me see what you girls are saying. April, people pleasing is dark feminine energy suppressed. Yes, so yes, 100%. And that's another thing that we're gonna have to talk about. I'll talk about this later down in the notes. April, hang on to that comment because it's great. Let's see. I'm usually my light feminine energy, but I want to be in my dark more often, but it feels unnatural. Yep. How do I know if it's me being uncomfortable or if it is unbalanced? Hannah, great question, girl. And I will teach you how to shift into both because it will feel unnatural. There's a process that I use. So how do you know if it's unbalanced? Pay attention to the way that people are responding around you. So for example, I've used this I think I was talking about this in the Master Your Feminine Energy course. When you go to dinner with your boyfriend or your husband's parents, are you going to be more in the light feminine energy or more in the dark feminine energy? Probably the light feminine energy. You're not going to be unlocking your seductive power at the dinner table with them. You're not going to be mysterious and like using your eyes, using your body and your sensuality. You're not going to be super cold with them. You're going to be open and light and warm. Warmth is light feminine energy. So what you want to do as a woman, use emotional intelligence to determine when to use both energies. Simply observe the situations around you, observe how people are responding with you, and experiment, play around with your feminine energy. One of the best resources that you can build emotional intelligence on, study Robert Greene's work. Robert Greene's work. Robert Greene, one of my favorite authors of all time. He is a very, very intelligent, I think he's a psychologist and an author and a speaker. He has wrote the 48 Laws of Power, the Laws of Human Nature, the Art of Seduction. The Laws of Human Nature, start with that book. Learn how people work. That is how you build emotional intelligence. I'm really, really lucky because the college that I went to, Loyola Marymount University, it was all about emotional intelligence. I'm so grateful for that school because every project, every assignment, every discussion that we had in class, my professors were teaching us how to build emotional intelligence. And I studied business there, so we talked about specifically how to bring that into business. All that you have to do, learn to read people, learn to understand human nature, learn to understand people's desires. You will be so, so smart. All right, let's move on to the next point. Okay, so the light versus the dark feminine energy. How to shift into the light feminine energy. We'll start with this. What you want to do, and this is going to be the inner work that you do. Learn to release the weights that your body is carrying. And by weight, I mean mentally and energetically. Things such as traumas, such as toxic people that are physically in your life, you have to release them because they are weighing down your energy. Your energy is very, very dense if you cannot connect to the light. So what this means is you are going to go inside your body. You are going to do things such as journaling, working with a therapist, doing emotional release activities, to go back, revisit some of the traumatic experience that maybe you faced, go and revisit what is your body still holding on to that it needs to release. That is how you connect to the light feminine energy. Excuse me. A great example of this is you will see a switch in women who go through breakups. So for example, let's say this, I hate to say it, but I love when a woman goes through a breakup. The truth is, when a woman is broken, there is nobody more powerful than her. Because the building up that she goes through as she repairs her heart, it is life-changing. There is nothing more powerful than that. Every powerful, strong woman, I guarantee you, has gone through some sort of heartbreak, whether it's with a partner or a family or a job or her health, where she is forced to become broken and rebuild herself. I'm trying to picture how to describe. I don't think that there's words to describe what I'm trying to say. But if you are in pain right now, it is your biggest blessing. Because when you do inner work with that, you are just going to repair yourself, lift to a higher level that nobody can go to. Not even men. Men who go through breakups, they don't get this power like women do. So women who go through breakups, do you notice that a lot of women go through what is called the villain era? It's the time in that woman's life where she just totally shifts into the dark feminine. She becomes a savage in dating. She just cares about getting into the gym. Maybe she moves to a new city. She cuts her hair. She's rebranding herself. Why? Because she has been broken. Her old identity has been broken, and she's rebuilding who she is at a way higher level than before. It's always a blessing when you become broken. So why did I start talking about this? Oh yes, okay. So that woman that's in her villain era, what you will also see after this is maybe a few months, maybe a few weeks for a lot of women, maybe even a year later, the villain era fades out and this new radiant, full of peace, full of love, era comes in. She is in her very spiritual, her very peaceful era. She's unbothered. She's just living her life like a queen, happy and radiant. That is a shift from the dark to the light. How did she do that? She released the energy that her body was carrying about the heartbreak. And because of that, it naturally set her free to shift into her light feminine energy. That is what you do. You do not need a heartbreak to go through this though. Sit and reflect, what hurt me when I was younger? What is something that is painful when I am triggered and think back about? What is something that I am maybe jealous of, or maybe I see on TV and I get emotional? Think about the things that your body is energetically reacting to and release those. So that's going to be your key. I highly recommend, if you are not already, join the Master Your Feminine Energy program, because it is step-by-step instructions how to do this type of inner work that I'm giving to you. And there's a part in there specifically about how to release emotions that your body is physically and energetically holding on to. That is what you want to do. Release, release, and your body becomes lighter. Remember how I said in the beginning, light feminine energy? It says it how it is, light, it's free. Opposed to that, the dark feminine energy. So what you need to release if you are in your light feminine energy and want to go to the dark, you need to release expectations and masks that you are wearing. Expectations. You have to be perfect. You have to be the nice girl. You have to be the maid. You have to take care of everybody. You have to be the star student. And especially the women that I work with one-on-one, a lot of them have come from immigrant parents and they're first generation Americans. And it's very, very tough for them to go outside of their parents' expectations and live their own life. You have to. And I promise it can be so tough in the beginning, but you do not have to prove yourself to anybody. Your life is in your hands. It's in your direction. So release the expectations that were placed on you. A good thing that you can do, ask yourself, if my mind was wiped clean, if I had a blank slate, where would I want my life to go? Who would I want to be as a woman? And if you're already in the Master Your Feminine Energy course, redo lesson number 1, where we talk about deciding who you want to be, building that character. Do that inner work that I give you to actually switch and reprogram your mind. That is how you're going to embrace the dark. So again, release the expectations, release the mask. A mask that I was wearing for so long, oh my gosh, there were 2. One was a perfectionist. I had to be a perfectionist. I never wanted to fail. And the reason for that is because I wanted control. I never had control when I was younger, so being perfect in every area was my way to gain control, because I could continue to stay validated. I could continue to control my outcome. Once I released that, my life got a million times better. I would never be a content creator. I would never be a business owner if I was still wearing my mask of being a perfectionist. Literally, that mask that I was wearing was blocking money. It was blocking friendships. It was blocking partners. It was blocking opportunities. Another mask that I had was the nice girl mask. I had to be the nice girl growing up. I've always been very, very kind to everybody, but I was also nice to everybody. There is a difference. My niceness came from people pleasing. It came from me wanting to manipulate and control the outcome so that I could stay safe. Now, my niceness is gone and it's replaced with kindness, a genuine love and care. So again, I want to repeat that point because I feel that it's so, so important. The mask that you are wearing will block opportunities for success, for partners and romance, for money. Oh my gosh, when I did my inner work, my income doubled, tripled, quadrupled. And because of this, I was able to do things such as build a 6-figure business in about 8 months. I was able to do things such as set up my own work schedule and work for 1 to 2 hours a day. I was able to attract friends who actually love and respect me because I dropped the mask. Your life will change when you drop the masks. You have to do this if you want to shift into your dark feminine energy. That's powerful. Thank you, girl. Yes, literally clicked on and my whole mindset and attitude have changed. Love you, Lex. Oh, Havila, thank you, girl. grateful. Oh, I am so, so grateful for you girls. Just to have this community where we can talk and build off each other's energy. Every day I write in my gratitude journal, I'm so grateful for my glow girls. I'm so grateful for the internet. Thank you girls for all of your comments. Okay. I think there was something else that I really wanted to say about this, the light and the dark. Okay, let me recap that first point. To shift into your light feminine energy, you have to release heavy weights. Weights of trauma, of burdens, of people and energy that you are carrying that no longer resonate with you. To shift into your dark feminine energy, you have to release expectations, and you have to release masks. You also have to release expectations that you have put on yourself. A good video about that would be, I'm trying to think which YouTube video I did that in. I think it was, let me see real quick. Do you girls remember the name of the second to last video that I just did? Yes, I think it's called Rejuvenate and Revive Your Feminine Energy, where we talk about rest and how to release the timeline that you have put on yourself. That's going to be a very, very great video for you. Okay. Beautiful goddess soul. Thank you, Amelia. Oh my gosh, I just feel so filled with love. I don't know if I've told you girls this before, but my second top love language is words of affirmation. So I wake up to messages, I love you, goddess. You've changed my life. I'm so grateful for you. It just fills me so much. I love you girls. Passing this on to our daughters. Thank you. That is what I want. That was my goal with creating this YouTube channel, creating this content specifically. I want every single woman to have this knowledge, to have this power. It is our birthright. And just you doing your inner work is going to impact every single woman around you. Tara, yes girl, you remember from the Revive and Rejuvenate Your Feminine Energy video. If you don't rest your body will rest for you. Yep. Ooh, Janet, so funny that you say this comment. Alexis, you talked about dressing in a way for your predominant energy. Light energy wearing seductive clothes and dark energy wearing feminine clothes. Can you explain the power of this? Janet, this was my next point. How funny. Yes, let's get into it. So what Janet's talking about is a concept that I've created where I believe that a woman can access such a high level of power by dressing the opposite of her natural energy. Her natural energy meaning light or dark. So for example, a woman who is in her light feminine energy. Let's take someone that most people know. Okay, let's take someone like Daphne from Bridgerton. If you don't know who Daphne from Bridgerton is, look her up real quick. Just a picture of her will be enough for you to see she is the light feminine. So if a woman like Daphne from Bridgerton were to wear a very tight, form-fitting, seductive, leather red dress, the effect that she would have would be so powerful because she is carrying so much light feminine energy in her essence. Her smile, her eyes, even we talk about this a lot in the course, how your hair, your skin, your eyes are certain light and dark features and how to play with that. She has all light features. And when she is dressed in a way that is carrying herself with total dark feminine energy, it is so intriguing because she's balanced in both. The most powerful women in the world are balanced in both the light and the dark. If you're having trouble balancing your energies, wear the opposite of what you naturally are, and that will help. So Daphne, a light feminine energy woman wearing this red, tight leather dress gives a different effect than a dark feminine energy woman such as, let's take Rihanna. Rihanna wearing this dress. Yes, they're both beautiful in it, but Daphne has a very, very powerful effect because she is sending both energies. It's like, oh my, I don't even know how to describe it. There's so many things that words just could not say. OMG, Bridgerton is such a good guide. Thank you. Okay, so on that note, that is about dressing the opposite of what your natural energy is. Something else for you to know is when you are playing around with your style, it's actually impacting your feminine energy. So it's a little bit confusing because what I always say is there's nothing more powerful than your internal energy. There's nothing more beautiful. Nothing can outweigh your energetic beauty. No physical feature can. But when you wear certain physical clothing or makeup or jewelry, it will impact your energy. So when I put on a dress that is tighter fitting, and I feel like it hugs my body, it hugs my curves, and I feel so sexy in it. Maybe it's a black color. My dark feminine energy just goes like this. And it's because I'm wearing something that confirms my energy is balanced in the dark feminine. So for you, if you want to shift into your dark feminine energy, wear things such as red lipstick, red nails, wear colors that are bold and dark, wear clothes that are tighter and hug your curves. The thing is, so remember how I had talked about dark feminine energy is called dark because it's usually, it shouldn't be, but it's usually shamed by society. It needs to be hidden like in the shadows. Wear something that hugs your curves because usually women's curves are shamed. We are told to hide and to cover our bodies, which yes, you should cover just to not leak out energy and not to show everyone your sacred parts, but it doesn't mean that you cannot have your curves being dressed in a way that feels flattering for you. Your curves are womanly, and your womanly, your feminine essence is your most powerful gift. So when you wear clothes that accentuate that, you are going to become more powerful. When I wear red lipstick, I bring a different energy to the video than when I wear more of a nude pink color, like right now. An example for you, if you want to see this in real time, go and watch the latest video that I just posted. It's called, I think it's called the Masculine Energy Blueprint. I'm wearing a red dress and red lipstick. My energy is different. It's more powerful, it's more seductive. I love the light feminine energy clothing for everyday wear. I love dark feminine energy when I'm going out on a date or when I really want to film a certain type of video. That is when I will wear it. So for example, right now, let me show you girls this dress. Okay, I think I've worn this dress in like 3 videos already. Okay, this dress right here, light feminine. It's flowy, it's free, it's very playful, and the colors, they're very, very bright. I just got this dress in Mexico like 3 weeks ago. I cannot stop wearing it. So comfy. And see how it's still sexy. Like I still have my chest right here, not all the way exposed, but it's classy. I feel like it allows my body to be free. I can move in it. Anything that you can move in freely, that's gonna accentuate your light feminine energy. Okay. Red, yes. Oh, red is becoming my new favorite color. Ooh, this is a really, really great question. So Hannah says, would restricted clothing due to religion and rules from parents wound your energy? I don't think it's the clothing specifically that would wound your energy. I think that shame around your sexuality could wound your feminine energy. If your parents taught you to dress modestly, to dress classy, there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, that's very beautiful. But if you were taught things such as, okay, here's an example of what I was taught. I was not allowed to wear leggings without a shirt that covered my behind. And I was always so frustrated with this because my parents said, we don't want men looking at you, you need to cover your, you know what? And I thought, why is it my job to worry about what men are doing? I should be able to wear what I want and men can control themselves. The older that I've gotten, the more I realized that their reason for doing this was not to shame me, but to protect me. So if you can try to look and see, were you being shamed or were you being protected? Religion protects women. In the Bible, it talks about dress modestly. It's not to be shamed, it's to be protected from energies who want to take advantage. So I do think finding a balance is best, a balance with everything. I love God, I love Jesus. I also love wearing clothes that maybe accentuate my curves. And the thing is, you can wear this kind of stuff, but do not reveal everything. Keep the sacred parts of yourself for yourself. Dress in a way that feels good for you. Everybody's opinion is different. What feels best for you to do, you do it. But again, to go back to your question, I don't think clothes can really restrict your energy when you're younger. I think it's the intention behind them. Yes, you have a turquoise one like that dress. It was the first one you got. I remember how hyped you were. Amelia, you remember, girl. I think I wore that one yesterday. Yes. How do you actually release emotions, masks, and trauma? What things do I do? I've journaled, spoke to a psychologist. This is a whole video in itself. 2 resources that will help you, girl. 1, go to my YouTube video. What is it called? Inner Work Guide, Releasing Blocked Emotions and Stored Trauma. I'm wearing a blue top, like a light blue turtleneck dress. Go and watch that video because that's a whole guide. Also, inside the Master Your Feminine Energy course, go to the section on healing old trauma and wounds. It's a whole lesson dedicated to the inner work on how to release the past, how to clean and renew your energy. Great question. All right, let's get back to the next point. Oh, okay, let's see this question real quick. So men should still control themselves and learn to be more respectful. I absolutely agree. Okay, so light, okay. Here's something else, and it'll actually answer that question that we were just talking about. To go from light to dark feminine energy, here's something else you've got to do. You have to learn how to release your anger. Excuse me. Not only release, but channel. You have to learn how to channel your anger. My light feminine energy girls, I guarantee you are going to totally resonate with what I'm about to say. There is so much anger that just wants to explode in you, but that you have not released. And it's come from over and over and over again, walking on eggshells, appeasing other people to keep yourself safe, which is so valid. But as a result, every time you choose to honor someone else's emotions rather than the little girl inside you, anger is building up. Anger is one of the lowest vibrations that you can have. So if you want to learn to channel that beautiful divine, and I say divine meaning healthy, dark feminine energy, because there's unhealthy, there's wounded, and there's healthy. You have to learn to channel and release your anger. How do you do that? You allow yourself to release anger. And you affirm to yourself daily, I am allowed to connect with my emotions. I am allowed to be angry. It is okay for me to be angry. It is amazing when I get angry. So things that I will do, it's things such as screaming into a pillow, yelling at the top of my lungs when I'm going for a drive, going for a run. Oh my gosh, I can think back to the moment in my life when I've been the most angry ever. I was 16, so I was maybe a sophomore in high school. And there was this situation with this girl that we won't get into right now, but we had a lot of tension and we had a really big disagreement, and I felt extremely betrayed by her. And I was at the gym when I had found out. What I did, I got up, ran around the gym. We had this huge track where you could run. Just ran and ran, breathed out all the anger. That is how you release anger. Physically doing something to move that anger out of your body into the world. Something else that you can do, and I actually did this morning, you can do things like grounding, connect your feet to the earth, and as you are doing that, release anger into the ground. Let the soil have it. It's no longer in your body. That is what you need to do. Yep. So the opposite side of this, how to go from dark to light feminine energy. What you need to release is control. And you also have to release unforgiveness. Why? So the thing is, when you are stuck in the dark feminine energy, and it's, oh my gosh, I wish that you girls could see the coaching calls and inside some of the one-on-one sessions, because there's women that come to me and they say, Alexis, I cannot get into the dark feminine energy. It's just scary. It feels unnatural. I'm so comfortable in my light. And then there's women that come to me and say, Alexis, I cannot get into the light feminine energy. I don't know how to be warm. I don't know how to be light and playful. It seems so crazy, but when I saw this, something clicked in me. And I thought, oh my gosh, what if we switched our mind and told ourselves it's a struggle to be the energy that we are? So for example, for me, and I actually did this when I was learning to connect to my dark, I said it's so hard for me to be my light feminine energy. My dark feminine energy just comes naturally. What started happening? I started accidentally showing up in my dark feminine energy because I was telling myself that was my normal. And in fact, it was hard for me to be light. Over time, I learned how to connect to the dark. So what you do is you say, it is so, if you're in your dark and you want to go to the light, it's so hard for me to be in the dark feminine energy. I'm just so used to being in my light feminine energy. And your body will start to transition to match that. And we talk about this in the course. Your brain has to confirm whatever it believes. Change your beliefs, change your reality. Your brain cannot be wrong. That is why when you say things such as, let me think of an example. When you say things such as, everyone is always smiling at me, you find people who smile at you. It's because your brain is constantly going to be on the scan, find someone who smiles at us. We have to confirm that that's our belief. It's just something that's in our mind. It's just how humans work. Change your beliefs, change your reality. I just got a kombucha bottle today and thought of you. Oh, Fergie! Cheers, girl. I'm drinking kombucha right now. Yay! I thought I was the only one who drives and screams to let off steam. Girl, you are not alone. Oh my gosh, the things that us girls do. If you ever think that you do something that's weird, you're not alone. I guarantee you 1000% you're not alone. I probably do it too. Okay, so back to the point, to go from dark to light, release control and forgive. Why release control? Because you cannot predict your outcomes. And when you are trying to control everything, you will not allow yourself to be the childlike, the free, the playful version of you. That is the most vibrant. That is your light feminine energy. You have to just let go. Think about when you were 5 years old. You had no control, you had no cares in the world, you were just living. That is the point that you want to get back to. Now, releasing unforgiveness. This is so, so important. I'm trying to think of a podcast. There's this podcast that I listen to that is the best podcast on forgiveness I've ever listened to. It is by Jay Shetty, and he's interviewing a man. Let me see if I can look it up real quick. They talk about, so I'm super into psychology and how our brain works. I love neuroscience. And they talk about the neuroscience behind unforgiveness, what it does to your body, and how it's making you sick. When you hear these facts like this and you are learning that the energy you're carrying is affecting the way that you show up in the world, you will change. It will motivate you to change. And that's why I always say, learn the facts, and that is your inner work. Learn how the anxious attachment style works. Learn why you had it, learn where it came from. That's how you heal. Okay, let me see this real quick. Does anyone know which podcast I'm talking about? If you can put in the chat. He has a few. Oh, which one is it? Let's see. Let me check the chat real quick. I love that you girls connect and talk to each other here. Oh, I can't. Oh, found it. Okay. Dr. Gabor. It's Dr. Gabor. His last name is Mate. Mate. Dr. Gabor Mate and Jay Shetty. Search that on YouTube. It is, so they dive into the complex process of finding closure and forgiveness when apologies and ... are probably not available. Please watch this podcast if you are struggling with unforgiveness, even if you think you're not, but you struggle to go from dark to light feminine energy. This podcast is so refreshing and so healing. I love it. I'm gonna take the link and actually put it in the description if you're watching this later. Okay. Yes, so you have to release unforgiveness. It's making your body sick. And if you feel sick, you do not feel good. If you do not feel good, you are definitely not in the light feminine energy. The better you feel, the more radiant you look, the more radiant you are. All right. Now I have 4 steps to build your light and your dark feminine energy and to balance both. The very first thing that I want to tell you is it's going to be small steps. And this goes back to that question I said I would come back and answer. How do you go from light to dark feminine energy? 1 step at a time. Every single day, you do something outside of your comfort zone that the opposite energy of you would do. So for example, oh my gosh, I used to do this all the time. When I was getting my nails done or I was getting my hair done, I wouldn't tell the stylist what I actually wanted. Maybe she would make my nails like oval shape and I wanted square. I would just let it be. And it's so embarrassing to say. Actually, it's not embarrassing. It's just a part of my old identity. So what I started doing is saying, I'm going to practice being in the dark feminine. I'm going to practice speaking my mind. It was so scary, my girls, just telling the nail tech or the stylist what I wanted different. But what I said is, I'm never going to change if nothing changes. So let me start speaking up in a very small way. So when I was getting my nails done, I think the very first thing that I did when I was conscious of this is I said, can you please make my nails a little shorter? That's it. That was a step towards victory. I would hug myself. I'd be so proud of myself after. I'd be in the car like, yes, good job, Alexis. And then the next day, guess what I would do? A step above that. Let me think of an example. Okay, maybe I'm at the grocery store and someone isn't paying attention and they go in front of me in line. Depending on my mood, I will or will not say something. But if I am in a hurry or if I need to get my groceries done, what I did is I said, all right, time to take another step towards my new identity. I'm going to speak my mind. Excuse me, I was here in line. Yes, I was shaking. Yes, my voice probably cracked, but I did it. And guess what happens when I did it? I up-leveled my identity. You can never go backwards. This is something I emphasize in the course and to my one-on-one girls all the time. The inner work that you do, you can never go backwards. Meaning I could never shift back to the former identity that I had. So that power that I found just by saying, excuse me, I was here in line, that way increased my level of power and confidence. I've never gone backwards since then. I've gone a million times forward, and you get to do that too. So it's small steps at a time. That is how you do it. The same thing for the light feminine energy. Smile at a beautiful woman that's walking by. Share your love, share what's on your heart. Give something nice to your neighbors. Maybe you have a neighbor that's elderly and you want to bring them some soup one day. That's going to enhance your light feminine energy. Go and do a cartwheel in the grass. Yes, it's going to feel weird and unnatural, but do it anyway. It's pushing past that old identity. I love the affirmation, April. I can never go backwards. I found my power. Yep. Candace, I love your questions, girl. What do you think of the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza and the power of the mind? I think he is the reason that I am where I am in my life today. He is one of my top 3 mentors of all time. I read so many of his books, watched so much of his podcasts and work. I love his teachings on quantum physics and neuroscience and epigenetics. I think he's so brilliant. And these topics are so fascinating for me because I believe you can reprogram your mind. That's why I made my course, to help women reprogram your mind. So the reason why I love his work so much and why so much of the course is inner work about reprogramming your mind. Let's take my finances, for example. So I remember I've had this business for a year, maybe a year and a half ago. I was working at a job that I really hated, and I was a hostess in a restaurant. I had my marketing degree. I was so lost. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I'd quit a marketing job that I was at, and I was working as a hostess at night, trying to figure out what I was going to do in the day. And I started studying his work, and what I realized was that I had certain limitations around money. I had a mental cap. I don't know what he calls it, but this is how I like to say it. I had a mental cap. My mental cap, the most money that I believed I could make, was $350 a week. It was nothing. I was struggling so much, my girls. Felt like I was broke and just depressed. I started listening to his work and realized I'm only making $350 a week because that is what I believe I can make. What if I move the goalpost? What if I say I can make $3,000 a week? What do you think happened? I made $3,000 a week. And then it changed. I started doing things such as, what if I make $3,000 a day? Then I started making $3,000 a day. So anything that you believe, you can receive. It starts with neuroscience. It starts with reprogramming your mind. That's going to have to be a whole video in itself. If you like that inner work specifically, that's going to be in the business course that I'm launching coming up. It's going to be for business owners, content creators, future coaches, anyone who wants to be their own boss and create financial freedom. Oh, Priya, you're in this, girl. I love when Alexis says, and it can happen for you too. Thank you, Priya. Oh, I love you, girl. So good to see you recently. I want to make $20,000 a week. Candace, yes, love that. Girl, you are going to love the business course. More will be coming on that probably in September. I love you, girls. Okay, next point. Oh my gosh, we've already been on for 47 minutes. I didn't even realize. Okay, this is the fun part. What you want to do is watch characters in movies and shows and take some of their energy and use it for yourself. What do I mean by that? If you are a woman and you want more dark feminine energy, here's a movie that I want you to watch. Mr. and Mrs. Smith with Angelina Jolie. Watch Angelina Jolie. Watch her mannerisms. Watch the way that she speaks, the way that she dresses. Watch that movie and start copying the way that she shows up. Start practicing speaking the way that she's speaking. That is how you shift your energy. People are showing up in our field because they are mirroring back the desires that we have. So if someone, you see them on TV and you find them so intriguing, match their energy. I think we used to do this all the time when we were younger. When I would watch Gossip Girl, oh my gosh, I would become Blair Waldorf. I just loved her energy. It felt like, oh, okay, you are reprogramming your mind when you watch someone. Your brain doesn't know the difference between reality and imagination. So when you constantly see and listen and absorb someone's energy, you are becoming them. Start absorbing the energy of people that you want to become. That is how you change. Another example, oh, Angelina Jolie is such a good example. Love her. She's so gorgeous. I love her. Daphne from Bridgerton, just like we talked about. Another example of this, Serena from Gossip Girl. I'm trying to think of another light feminine energy woman. If you girls have women that you like, feel free to put them in the chat. So embody their energy for yourself. Anything that you like that they do, practice with it. It doesn't have to feel real. It doesn't have to belong to you. The world is a place for you to play and have fun. It's just a movie. You get to decide what character you show up as. You can wake up tomorrow morning and say, I'm going to be a seductive, mysterious goddess. And that is who you become. Doesn't matter how you were yesterday. Priya, LOL, yes to Blair, and I'd pick up traits from Samantha Jones. I love Samantha Jones. Oh my gosh, Priya, this is so off topic, but there's a show called How I Met Your Father. It's a spinoff of How I Met Your Mother. Samantha Jones is in it. She narrates the whole thing. And she kind of has that same energy from Sex and the City. So I would go and watch that. Oh, welcome to everyone joining. Yeah, this is what I love so much about the private Facebook group for the Master Your Feminine Energy course students. We share so much music in there. And Candace, I see your question. What about music? When I want to feel sexy and powerful, I listen to certain songs. My playlist has just up-leveled so much because all of my girls are sharing this music in this Facebook group saying, this song makes me feel so sexy. This one makes me want to dance. Yes, find music like that. High vibe music that puts you in a certain way of being. Yes. All right. If you were watching, which video is it? It's the most recent video that I did about the masculine energy blueprint, how to find a divine masculine man. I talk about in the end Catherine Zeta-Jones from the movie The Mask of Zorro. I told you girls how obsessed I was with her in that movie. I just watched it maybe a month ago. She radiates so much beauty. I could not take my eyes off of her in this movie. The movie is called The Mask of Zorro. I think it's Zorro. Catherine Zeta-Jones is the perfect example of balancing the light and the dark. So yeah, everybody loves Catherine Zeta-Jones, yes. So her heart is so pure in the movie. She wants to save the people who are in prison. She wants to experience love and romance. Her heart is so kind, she's so pure. She also has the dark feminine energy. She craves passion. She craves to just have that intimacy with the man. She's a little mysterious. She doesn't reveal everything about herself. She has that side of herself that's so unexpected. She knows how to fight. When she uses the sword, she is just in so much power. That's why I say nothing is masculine or feminine. Sword fighting, most people would say, oh, that's masculine. Watch Catherine Zeta-Jones use a sword. It is feminine. It depends on your energy when you do it. If it lights up your soul, you're in your feminine energy. So she balances both of these very, very well, the light and the dark. I think she's such a beautiful example. Okay, what else did I want to say? Yes, my girls who are on TikTok, go to my TikTok account and look at the playlist Feminine Energy in Shows and Feminine Energy in Movies. So I do a lot of evaluations. For some reason, these are my most popular videos on TikTok, where I take like certain clips from movies, certain clips from shows, and I will analyze the light and dark feminine energy in there. Go and watch those because you will see so clearly. I break down the way that they speak, the men that they're attracting, the way that they're dressing, to show you the difference between light and dark feminine energy. Okay. Hi, Alexis. How would you handle people gossiping about you behind your back? I am at the point now where I cannot imagine anyone who would gossip behind my back that's not in my close circle. And if they're not in my close circle, I don't care what they think because they are not enhancing my life, and I would definitely not rather trade places with them. So if you have people who are close in your life gossiping behind your back, ask yourself if the highest version of you would have these people in your circle. If the answer is no, goodbye. Life is way, way too short. And think about people who tell you they do not have any friends who gossip behind their back. That should be your reality. So know that that is your standard and remove anyone who does not match it. Let's say that there's someone who you cannot remove in your life just yet, who's talking about you behind your back. I would address it. I would say, the trust has been broken in our relationship, something like that. And you don't have to necessarily rebuild that relationship. You don't have to ask why they're talking about you behind your back. Always know this. People that are below you are going to be talking about you. They don't have anything better to do with their time. If someone is gossiping, they have no value in their life. I have 5 close girlfriends. Every single one of them, they're extremely busy following their passions, their hearts, investing in their healthy, beautiful relationships. They don't have time to gossip. If they did, that would be a low value friend to me. So sit back and say, I release this person. It's sad that they don't have anything better to do with their time, and find someone else who better aligns with you. Okay. So another note about this, I have 2 more points and then we'll just talk and take some questions freely. The better you feel, the easier it is to play around with both energies. So the more that you take care of your body, the more that you take care of your mind, the easier it is to be in your light and dark feminine. For example, drinking things that fill your body with energy and hydration. I always drink kombucha because it's so good for your gut health. Excuse me. Speaking of drinking kombucha, this cup says, it is my honor to love and nourish my body. This is your new affirmation. These cups, by the way, if you want one, they're on thefemininglow.com. I'm so happy we finally have merch. We have t-shirts and cups like this. On the other side, sorry about my lipstick, it says, my body is my garden. This is your other affirmation. Your body is your garden. Honor it, love it, nourish it. Because the better you feel, the lighter you feel, the happier you feel, and the easier it is to say, how do I want to show up in the world? I'm feeling so good. I'm at such a high vibration. My body looks good. My body feels good. How do I want to show up? And then it's easier for you to shift into the light and the dark. For example, when I am not taking care of my body and I've been pouring a lot of trash into it, oh shoot, my battery is dying. I do not feel confident to speak up for myself as much because I haven't been taking care of my body. I've been telling myself, you're not worthy of treating the best. So I'm not going to treat myself the best. I'm not saying you have to perfectly take care of your body and your health. Do your best. I follow the 80-20 principle. 80% of the time, I'm filling my body with healthy, nutritious foods. 20% of the time, it's whatever I want. Especially this week right now, I'm in my luteal phase, right before I get my period. I have been eating more junk food than usual, and that is okay. My body is craving it. Will this be available later on? It's 2 a.m. here, my body needs to sleep. Yes, girl, go ahead and get your sleep. This will be up. The only thing it won't be up for is if YouTube decides to take it down. This is why it's so hard for me to make dark feminine energy content and why I put it in the course, because I say whatever I want there. There's so much juicy information about dark feminine energy that I wish I could put on YouTube, but I cannot because it's considered inappropriate. It would be taken down. But other than that, girl, it should be up. All right, the last part here. So with the more inner work that you do, more inner work is going to be key. The more inner work that you do, which inner work I call personal development for the soul. It is taking the old identity, deciding what you want to take with you, what you want to release to create the up-leveled version of you. The more inner work you do, the more comfortable you will be to embrace the energy that you want. So let me think of a clear example of inner work. Okay, so a part of my inner work journey was healing my anxious attachment style. My anxious attachment style caused me to always feel that people wanted to abandon me, that they didn't truly like me, that they were, let's say that they were not going to be around forever. That's what I felt like. So I was always trying to keep people close and I would control them as a result. So for example, when, let's say that my partner did something where they didn't text me back for 2 hours, that was time for me to do my inner work. It was time for me to sit in that anxiety and say, okay, the new version of me comes from a healed place, knows that someone not texting back is not a reflection of your self-worth, is not even a reflection that you're going to be abandoned. It's a trigger coming from the anxious attachment style. So when I could become self-aware and know in that moment, that was me being triggered, I was able to shift into the new identity. And I was able to stay in the healthy light and dark feminine energy because I wasn't wounded. I wasn't worried, oh my gosh, my partner's cheating on me, or oh my gosh, I'm being abandoned, and caused me to go down in all this turmoil and lose the light and the dark feminine energy. It would cause me to still stay as a goddess. I know my self-worth. They're busy. They have a full and complete life. I am okay. I only feel this way because I grew up in a chaotic home, because my body sits in anxiety. That is how I release the anxious attachment style. So when I say do inner work, that is what I mean. That is what's going to heal you and bring you up to the next level. I have 2 books for you girls. I love giving you books because so many of you are amazing, amazing readers. So a book for women who want to learn to embrace their light feminine energy more, meaning you're probably more in the dark. A book that I have for you is called Habits of a Happy Brain. It's one of my favorite books. It's by Dr. Loretta Graziano Bruning. Habits of a Happy Brain. It's so good. It'll keep you light and it'll teach you how to rewire your brain for happiness. Happiness and warmth, those are the keys of light feminine energy. All right, a book for my girls who want to embrace the dark feminine energy more. And both of these are great to be balanced, of course. For your dark feminine energy, I want you to read the book Untamed by Glennon Doyle. This is probably my favorite book that I've read all year. I read it, I think, back in January. It is so deep, so good for how to break the expectations and the masks that we talked about earlier of being the good girl, of wanting to people please, just being free, how to let those expectations go, how to truly be your divine dark goddess self. Oh, it's so good. So that's Untamed by Glennon Doyle. All right, my girls, go ahead and ask me any questions related to this video. I'm super happy to get to talk with you now. I listen to you every morning. Thank you. You have completely helped me change my mindset. Oh, Reba, so happy to be with you, girl. Thank you. I feel some of my old habits slipping. Thank you so much for your wisdom. Yes, you're welcome. How do you stay positive and not let news and media bring you down? I limit the amount that I take in. And my pastor made such a good point at the church that I go to the other day. He says, back in the day, when you watched the news, you had 3 minutes a night on a very tragic event. Now you have it all day in front of you. So the thing that I have to do is learn, it is crushing my dopamine levels when I'm constantly engaged in the media that's going on. So unfollow accounts that are bringing this news and this media to you. That is what you do. Mary, you're beautiful. I love you. Thank you, Mary. So sweet, girl. What does your mug say? So on one side it says, my body is my garden. On the other side it says, it is my honor to love and nourish my body. This is so off topic, but speaking of nourishing my feminine energy, I have been doing this hair mask that I am obsessed with. And I'm sure so many of you girls know this too. It's called the K18 hair mask. I've been seeing so much about it on TikTok. I finally tried it and I love it. My hair feels so healthy. This is it. I washed it earlier today. Has anyone tried this mask before? How do you stay consistent in this inner work and healing journey? You don't have to be consistent, but you have to make a decision that it is my honor to love and protect and nourish my soul. Meaning every day you make the choice to choose the option that the best version of you would have. You get out of bed in the morning and you think, should I make my bed? Should I just leave it? What would the best version of you do? You are going on dates and you're meeting men. You meet one who is maybe very, very attractive, but they give you player vibes. And you meet another one who's very kind, who maybe you don't feel that strong chemistry with yet, but who treats you like a queen. And he is conscious and in his masculine energy. You make the choice. I'm going to choose the man that the best version of me would be with, that's going to love and respect and care for me and give me the best relationship, the best family. Those are the choices that you make. Something else that you can do, Dee Dee, join the Feminine Glow group chat. It's free and it's through the Feminine Glow app, which you will find in the description of this video. The app is called Spaces by Wix. Type thefemininglow.com. And there's a group in there. When you set up your profile, you can join. There's like 1,200 women in there. And all that we do all day is exchange questions and comments. And girls will say, I'm going on a date tonight. Which outfit do you like better? Or here's a song that I love. Or I'm stuck in this in my relationship. What advice does everyone have? Go there because that'll be a great place to keep you in that inner work journey. Let's see. Would you say we can learn feminine energy from women in the Bible? Yes, Sophia. And I'm not sure if this is the same for every religion. My next goal is going to be studying other religions. In the Bible, there are so many women who are in their beautiful feminine energy. The first one that comes to mind for me is Ruth. Yes, Ruth comes to mind, but sorry, the one that I meant to say is Esther. Esther became a queen and she used her voice, she used her platform to save people's lives, to save the lives of the Jews. And when she used her being a queen for that and she found her voice, the king fell in love with her. He loved Esther more than any other woman. It's because she spoke up for herself, She was a rule breaker, and you know what I always say, my girls? Rule breakers are the queens. You can absolutely learn from women in the Bible like that. I think that Ruth is another beautiful example of a woman in her feminine energy. And I'm sure it's like this in other religions too. I always want you girls to know this is a safe place for you to be whatever religion, whatever spirituality, even if you don't have either of those, that is okay. There is no judgment here. You be whatever you want. Ask me whatever questions you want. I personally am Christian. I'm very much on the spiritual side. I love God. I love Jesus. Whatever your religion is, that's great. Most of the women that I work with are actually Middle Eastern, so we have different religions. When I work with these women one-on-one, there's never any disagreements about our religion. In fact, both of our different religions always end up coming together. And I think it's because the spiritual practices are very, very similar. Yeah. Oh, I don't want to leave you girls, but I'm gonna have to go soon because my phone is gonna die. Thank you so much. I was reading about updates of the overturning of Roe versus Wade and feeling anxious. I really want to feel safe as a woman, and you've helped me so much. Sammy, I'm so happy I can help you, girl. Unfortunately, Roe versus Wade being overturned is absolutely heartbreaking. I was very, very upset seeing that. The thing is, I cannot spend my energy being upset because all that's going to do is waste energy. What I can do is I can accept the decisions that come and make my choices as a result. Julianne, the whole first part of this video has explained what dark feminine energy means. So what I recommend for you, girl, go back from the beginning and replay it because I will explain it there. Wait, Janet J had a really great question. Okay, did I miss one? Janet, would you mind typing your comment one more time for me, girl? How do you always remember all these authors' names? Hannah, the authors that I really, really love, they just stick to me. I don't know how I remember. The author of Habits of a Happy Brain, I honestly don't remember that one. Have you read You Are a Badass? Yes, Jen Sincero is the best author. I love that book by her. Let's see. She said that you mentioned something about being careful of being in your light feminine with other women. Ooh, this is interesting. So I'm wondering why you would want to be careful of being in your light feminine with other women. The only reason I could think of is if you're around other women in their wounded feminine energy. Think about the movie Mamma Mia. Think about how Sophie, when she meets her friends, when she runs out to the dock and her friends come in on that boat and they're about to go and celebrate her wedding with her, they are such in their light feminine energy, and it's so, so beautiful. Search on YouTube, Sophie being reunited with girlfriends in Mamma Mia. Search that up, it's so beautiful to see. They are playful, they're giggly, they're like little girls again, and they're adults. And it's so beautiful to see. When you are with women who are whole and complete in their own feminine energy, you do not have to dim down any part of you. Ever, ever, ever. Yeah. The light feminine energy, you always have to remember you want the balance with the dark too. So you want the boundaries. If you're with other women who are in the wounded feminine energy and you have boundaries, you will be able to stay in your energy and not be affected. I saw a comment about what tips do you have for getting over being cheated on and letting go of a toxic relationship? Adele, I'm so sorry to hear that you're going through this, girl. Remember what I said in the beginning? There is nobody more powerful in the world than a woman who is broken and on her journey to leveling up. Use the pain as fuel to level yourself up. This man deselected himself out of your life. So now what is the next step for you to do? God is showing you he is not worthy of you. There is someone else better. So how you do this is you accept the situation, you allow yourself to go through all of the stages of grief. I believe there's 8 stages, but I would Google this to make sure. Release the anger, release the emotions so that you can begin to heal. Learn to see women, whether it's online or in your friends, that are with healthy, conscious, trustworthy men, so that you can believe they are still out there and I get to have him. That is what you do. So focus on healing, focus on creating the vision for the next relationship that you want. And do not take it personal, my girl. Insecure men are the ones who cheat. It is never a healthy, conscious, masculine man that will be unfaithful. So I hate to say it, it is a blessing in disguise when a man deselects himself. Let's see. Are you in your masculine when trying to make a new friend? If you are always trying to make friends, will it put off your balance? So being in your head and trying to figure out, am I in my masculine, am I in my feminine, that will keep you in your masculine energy because it's using logic and it's not coming from your desire. Remove the thinking of which energy you are. Think about how, or actually not think, feel how it is in your body when you see a woman or a man that you want to make as a friend. For me, I've never thought, oh, I'm going to be in my masculine if I go and approach this woman. If there's a woman that's so radiant and I love the way that she carries herself, I will go up to her and I will say, I love your energy, girl. It's so beautiful. And depending on our conversation, maybe we will form a friendship. So when I'm going up and talking with her, because it's coming from a place of love and I desire to go and connect with her, that is my feminine energy. It's coming from a desire, it's coming from my body. If it's coming from, I want to make friends, I need 5 friends to feel good, I need to go and plan who I'm going to meet, that is the masculine energy. That's not the best way to do it. But that's a really, really great question, Hannah. Okay, my girls, I'm going to take one more question and then I'm going to have to leave. I cannot believe it. It's already been, an hour and 12 minutes? I love hanging out with you girls. Oh, Sammy, you guided me out of my debilitating addiction to fear and worry. I cannot thank you enough. You're so welcome, girl. Your guidance has helped me become a leader and good example for other women in my community. Oh, I'm so happy, Sammy. Yes, girl. Lots of love from Sudan. Hey, girl. Love to you from Las Vegas. Oh, okay. I see 2 great questions, so let me take these both. Mary says, can you give an example of rule breaking? Yes. So, an example of rule breaking. Let me think. There's 2 different sides of this. Number 1, breaking the generational patterns is rule breaking. So personally in my family, the women have tended to be with men who are not the most conscious and not the most healthy divine masculine men. My goal is to break that rule, that the women in my family attract unconscious, wounded masculine partners. So how I do that is I decide I'm going to break the rules. I'm not going to have the same patterns that my generations has always had. And another example of this is the way that I set up my business and my lifestyle. A rule that I had, and this is an energetic rule, it's it's a rule that society has for a lot of people, is you have to be in the 9-to-5 grind to make money. I broke that rule by saying I only want to work at the max 4 hours a day, and I want to make $2,000 a day when I decide. And that was just a random desire that I had one day. I broke the rules and said I'm not going to use my degree to go to a marketing job to live the 9-to-5. I'm instead going to say I'm going to become a hostess and work in a restaurant, which went against everything that I had been taught. And I'm going to work on healing myself during the day, giving myself free time, learning what I'm passionate about, and building my own business from there. Now I make way, way more money than I ever would have at a 9-to-5, and I work when I want, how I want. It doesn't even feel like work. I just show up and get to work with women one-on-one. I get to create courses that were the blueprints that the old version of me needed to get to where I am now. All I do is play and create the life that I want. That is breaking a rule. Another rule would be, So there's a rule that says you should not ask you should not ask what your coworkers are making. You should not ask what their income is. I say break that rule. That rule was created to keep your salary small. These are the types of rules that I'm talking about. The rules that are meant to disempower you. Break them. Rule breakers are the queens. Oh, here's the question I saw. When you're working on your feminine energy, but your mom is masculine or has wounded feminine energy, girl, yes, that's exactly it, with no desire to change. I'm concerned about my future children and her grandchildren. So I'm a little bit confused on the question. If your mom is in her wounded feminine energy, that is her journey. There's nothing that you can do except show up as the best version of yourself. You showing up in your healthy divine feminine energy is going to heal and transform your mom. So do not spend your energy, do not even give your energy. Your energy is a currency. Do not give that into worrying and anxiety. You become the best version that you can be, and that is what will be passed down to your children, to your grandchildren. You don't have to worry about your parents having wounded energy. All that you have to do is the inner work within yourself, and that's what will be passed down to your kids. Yep. Okay. What is your opinion on the red pill content? I'm not a fan. I am a fan of content from men such as Jay Shetty, very spiritual, very conscious man. I'm a fan of content from men like Danny Morell. He has the podcast called The Higher Purpose. I absolutely love Justin Baldoni's podcast, We Are Man Enough. That is true masculine energy to me. Red pill content is toxic alpha masculinity to me. It's very wounded. It's coming from a place of false power. And it's coming from a place that's lacking consciousness and inner work. I'm not a big fan of it at all. It's so funny because Justin Baldoni, he was my crush growing up. He was my celebrity crush. He's Raphael in the show Jane the Virgin. Now he is this super brilliant, conscious man. I have so much respect for him. He has an amazing relationship with his wife. He has a podcast called We Are Man Enough. It's so good. I just love to see these everyone becoming so conscious. You referred me to Danny Morell, and I'm so thankful. He has an amazing mindset. I love your content. Danny Morell's content, his appreciation and understanding and respect of the divine feminine energy blows my mind. I started following him on TikTok when he had maybe 100,000 followers, and I thought, who is this man? He's so aware of how feminine energy works. If you are struggling with believing that healthy, conscious men are out there, watch his content, because you will learn men do understand women. Conscious men do. They want to be masculine. They want to provide for you. They want to protect you. They want to just make you feel like a queen and allow your feminine energy to rest. Go and watch his content and you will believe it. All right, my girls. I am going to head out now. I've loved talking with you. So I cannot be here Friday like I usually am. That's why I'm here live streaming now, but I will most likely be back sometime next week, during the week. I love you girls. Thank you so much for all of your amazing questions and for all of your comments. I really appreciate you. I'm excited to see you again. All right, girls. Love you.